Hello there, and thank you for joining us on Live at 1. I'm Lillian Muli Kanene. President Uhuru Kenyatta has directed Attorney General, Treasury and Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission to develop a comprehensive national ethics and anti-corruption policy to fight graft.
Today, for the first time, we have a clear picture of the nature and distribution of corruption in the public sphere. All public institutions are directed from today to take a very keen interest in these rankings. It is their duty now to closely work with the Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission to come up with specific measures to control corruption in their institutions and thereby improve their placements in the ranking. Our public entities have no excuse now. They must deal, and deal swiftly, with corruption and its attendant malpractices. The Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission, through the strategic plan we are launching today, has devised a number of strategies to combat and prevent corruption and unethical practices in the country. Key among these are the intensification of investigations, the tracing and recovery of corruptly acquired public assets, and the widening of the scope of preventative measures to every level of government. I am glad to report that they will also monitor compliance with the provisions of Chapter 6 of the Constitution on leadership and integrity. I am especially pleased that the Commission has embarked on a corruption prevention advisory program targeting every county in the Republic. It aims to ensure that all county governments put in place policies, systems, and procedures that are intolerant of corruption. Let me make it perfectly clear that it is the duty of each and every county government to take this and other programs being rolled out by the Commission very seriously. It is equally their duty to comply with it. Ladies and gentlemen, by and large, Kenyans pay their taxes. We have one of the largest revenue bases in this part of the world, and it is logical to think of those taxes as an investment in their government. We in government, we who have been entrusted with that investment, must manage it prudently and for the benefit of our people. That is why we as a government have initiated the Huduma Kenya program, which I launched last year. The aim of this program is to deliver ethical and efficient public services in a manner that respects our present social realities.
And we're now joined by our senior reporter, Jackie Maribe, with details.
Yes, indeed, Lillian, a very strong worded statement from the president right there, basically saying that his administration will in no way tolerate corruption. Now, this is not the first time that he is calling out graft as it is. Just last month, we were still here at the KICC, and the president once again echoed these very sentiments. And that day, he was able to put senior government officials, particularly in the office of the president, on notice, saying he will not tolerate corruption, and any senior officer that is found out to be engaging in graft will be sent home. Now, these words were, of course, echoed by Deputy President William Ruto, who today, in an interesting statement as well, said that nobody makes a plan to be broke or to be fat or to be lazy or to be stupid, and therefore we must deliberately make a plan to fight corruption. Now, this, Lillian, is coming just 2 weeks after the country began a debate on how to tame the raging wage bill, of course coming starting with the executive pay cut by the president, the deputy president saying they'll take 20% pay cuts on their salaries, cabinet secretaries taking 10%. We have been able to see other leaders announcing that they would want to also take pay cuts. However, we have spoken to the Parliamentary Service Commission about this. So far, none of them has been able to present a letter so far to this effect. But this conversation is already out there. And we have heard from the president and the deputy president saying corruption and wastages are the two key issues that they are trying to tackle in order also to bring down that raging wage bill that stands at 521.6 billion shillings. Lillian, would you believe it? And also strong-worded sentiments coming from the chairperson of the Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission, Mumu Matemu, saying already this 5-year strategic plan that has been launched today, the first of its kind under EACC, is already in motion, but already the strides that they have been able to make so far. Uhuru Park in Uhuru Garden, in Mombasa, they have been able to reclaim it. It is now public land. They are in talks and have had an MOU with the governor of Nairobi, Dr. Evans Kidero, again over reclaiming land right here in Nairobi. And this is something that they hope to do across the countries, across the counties rather, in the country. Now, Lillian, this issue of corruption is not just something that is being taken lightly. And again, we have been asking from our bulletin yesterday, Monday special, has the DPP and has the EACC finally found its bite? We are seeing senior officials who might not necessarily be in this current administration, but other previous administrations that were deemed to be untouchables are finally being caught. The EACC is watching, as we always say, Big Brother is watching. Right now, Integrity Center is very keen turning its focus to senior officials. Amos Kimunya yesterday in the dock, we were able to see CBK Governor Professor Njuguna Ndongo as well. EACC was able to follow him up with a alleged corruption case. We were able to see James Oswago from the IEBC. These are just some of the people that the EACC is turning its focus on. You will remember also last week we were able to bring you a report on an imposter within the Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission. So it is an exercise that is not just outside in the public, but also they are taking stock and having a watchful eye within their very own commission. But the question again, Lillian, is how deep this fight against corruption is going to go, not just getting these senior officers, not just reclaiming land, also talking to the Kenya Revenue Authority over Economic Crimes Act. It is time, the time has come to be serious about this particular war on graft. Now, Lillian, in our subsequent bulletins, we will also be able to tell you just how far they have been able to go. Is it about just the president talking, but there is no action? What happens to these senior officers that he is alleging are corrupt? Are they still in office? So what exactly is happening? If action must be taken, then how far has it gone? But for now, of course, Lillian, we continue to keep an eye on what the anti-graft body is doing right from Integrity Center, and also what the executive is going to do, not just in an effort to reduce the wage bill, but also just to tame the vice that has been corruption that is, of course, crippling the image of this country, and as the deputy president was saying, that is also undermining their administration and their manifesto. Lillian.
Well said, Jackie, and thank you for that. And let's move on now. A 34-year-old man died in a borehole in Kamonjil village in Nandi County as he tried to salvage a chicken which had fallen into the well. According to witnesses, the man wanted to have the neighbor's chicken which had fallen into the well for dinner. The body of the deceased was taken to Kapsabet County Hospital mortuary.
It is a rescue mission which entails science and common sense.
Inatusaidia kujua kama hii kisima iko na oxygen ndani yake. Ikifika chini kama bado inawaka, inaonyesha kuna oxygen. Na ikisima inaonyesha hakuna oxygen ndani. Sasa hapo tutatumia mbinu nyingine, sasa hatutaruhusu mtu mwingine kuingia ndani yake. Lakini ikiendelea kuwaka hivi, tutaruhusu watu waende ndani.
When the kerosene lamp was lowered into the borehole, it did not go off. which means there is oxygen in the well. The specialist immediately springs into action with the hope of saving the life of a 34-year-old man who fell into the 55-feet borehole at around 9 a.m. Monday while trying to salvage a chicken that had fallen into the ill-fated well in Kamanjiri village, Nandi County. It is a risky mission. Minutes later, the first victim of the accident, which has shocked villagers here, is removed, a dead chicken. According to witnesses, the chicken belonging to a neighbor fell into the borehole at around 5 p.m. on Sunday evening. The man then decided to take it out for dinner, but darkness was approaching, so he postponed the mission to early morning Monday. He managed to go into the well. Unfortunately, he never came out alive. All villagers had was a distress call, but it was too late.
Tulisikia manduru kutoka kwa hii boma, ndio tukaweza kukimbia hapa tukuje tuone ni nini. Kama mwanadamu anaweza kupotesha maisha yake kwa sababu ya kuku, mnyama ambaye unaweza kununua, ameweza kupotea katika jamii yake, watoto wake wamebaki wakihangaika. Hata kama alikuwa sio mtu wa dhamana ndani ya boma, hakuwa anasaidia huyo mama, lakini sasa watoto wamebaki wakihangaika.
As the body of the deceased is taken to the Kapsabet County Hospital, this family has not only lost the breadwinner, but they lost him in a way that still baffles this community. Judy Kosgei, Citizen at 1.
And two legislators from the Nyanza region have accused the government of not doing enough to address the plight of sugarcane farmers in the Western Kenya region. Muhoroni MP James Koyo and Ugenya MP David Ochieng took issue with the government's increased focus on developing sugarcane farming at the coast instead of also reviving sugarcane growing in the Nyanza region, which has dwindled in recent years.
Sugarcane farming is supposed to be a lucrative agricultural practice, laden with sweet deals all the way from the farms to the banks. But the reality is that sugarcane farmers in Kenya are struggling day in, day out. More and more farmers in Western Kenya are opting to quit from this sector of farming. And some MPs from the Nyanza region say these farmers are the victims of sugar importation cartels.
I don't see how sugar can be imported and it lands in the port of Mombasa. And it leaves the Hawkeye anti-corruption, the customs officers, the CID officers. And then it is either railed or brought by road through Nairobi-Mombasa Road, where we have 18 roadblocks. How do they pass?
The government has increased funding for sugarcane growing in other parts of the country away from the traditional sugarcane growing areas in Western Kenya. The government has, for instance, supported large-scale sugarcane farming in Kwale, where newer, faster-growing varieties with a higher sugar content are being grown at Ramisi. But the Nyanza MPs say this shows the government has evaded addressing the even bigger problem affecting sugarcane farming in Western Kenya.
I think let us not run away from our problems. If the issue is the efficiency of production of sugar, if the issue is the variety, let that be done for every region. Let every region have the capacity to produce sugarcane that matures fast and build capacity of the sugar industry in the whole country.
And in a clear indicator that farmers in Nyanza are looking at other crops for their food and income security, Ugenya MP David Ochieng has embarked on a large-scale maize seed distribution exercise in his constituency. The MP distributed 60 tons of seeds to farmers. Over 3,000 farmers are expected to benefit from the exercise. Abdi Osman, live at 1.
And we're now joined live on set by Muhoroni MP James Koyo to discuss the sugar sector woes and the way forward for the sugar industry. Thank you.